and I think you know is a very important thing. How do you know a good Christian union? The work of KIT is to produce a kind of Christian union that can give us these citizens with the values. Remember that our vision. But our vehicle is the CU. So when we have something we call issue analysis, and I posted it to you. When you go to a CU and you want to assess is the CU doing well, you put the name of the issue analysis sheet, you put the name of the school, then you put there the total population of the school. How big is the school? And you will see immediately why you need the population. Because the next question is, how many of that population are saved? And you discover some schools, they have a CU, they are very happy because the CU is big. Like I once went to Kenyatta University, and the Sunday service Kenyatta is very huge. To assist services, they are flooding until outside. Until I asked them, what's the population of the university? And they told me, I don't know, that 1,000. How many people are this? They are less than 3,000. Can you imagine how small they are? But when you see numbers, you think they're big. So we must check in that school what percentage of the students actually are born again. And if you find a number below 10%, you know that school requires evangelistic effort. So that's the first thing you are trying to find out. How well are we doing? Number two, that question is, okay, that question I've already talked about is, what's your penetration factor? What percentage have you gotten saved? Number four, we now want to know how the CU is progressing. So we ask the question, how many people got saved last time? Because although they are big, are they getting saved? How many got saved last time? And then the most important, how many backslid the same time? Because the CU, if we are not getting people are getting saved, but the backsliding is higher than the saved, means the CU is actually going down. Of course, that's a difficult question, but by insisting on getting the people backslidden, it means there's a discipleship process. Because that's the only way you can know people are backsliding. But what you are really measuring in that is the CU progressing? Next, do they have a family program? Or things are that you do, they just do things. Do they have a family program? Can they tell you what will happen 3 Sundays from now? Who will be the speaker? What will be the topic? Do they have a family program? If they don't, that do not see you doing well. Number 7, do they, and for that Sunday, will they have a meeting program? In other words, I can say that on that Sunday we are going to have John as a speaker. But do they have a detailed program, minute by minute? Because what happens is that people give all the time to singing, then the speaker is given 5 minutes. If you have no program, the program must stop the singers in time to give time to the speaker and to give time for testimonies. One of the things that are lacking now is the lack of testimonies. And you ask people to give a testimony, they come and sing. I'm sure that you went through that. You are the one who was in high school latest, where people just sing and they were asked to give a testimony. So we need to, do they have a family program is the question. And then do they have a meeting program? Now we can go to question number 8. How many Bible study meetings do they have per term? Do they even have Bible studies anyway? Group Bible study. And how many do they have per term? Or rather per month. Not whatever, whichever depends. Because we want to know that not once a term. The group needs to meet severally to cover whatever is the theme for that term. Then ask the question, do they have fellowship meetings? Fellowship meetings are times when people can share testimonies and carry one another. The key thing about fellowship is that they are not men and Christians. So they can cover, instead of watching that linen in public, is a meeting the CU talk to each other. And then finally, in order to ensure the CU does not is not overdoing, how many meetings per week is a CU member expected to be in? Discover some people are failing their exams because the CU has put so many meetings, they have no time to do their homework. So how many meetings do they have per week? And what about, do they have a choir? Does that choir train? Or they just sing, jumping? They don't know alto and soprano, and it's not a choir. How is that going? And then number 11, is there a CU library in that school? Now, because if you really after these people getting values, preaching is not enough. A book does better than a speaker, because a speaker will speak in 30 minutes. But a book, somebody can read slowly on the same topic the speaker spoke on. Do they actually have a CU library? If they have, how many books? Can be a CU library of 2 books. Number of books. Then, last question on that question. If they have 100 books, how many of them were borrowed in a week? In fact, I was in the university recently and asked them about the library. And they told me the library doesn't move. So they're happy they are not losing books. But the library is called a library because books are moving. So how many of them are borrowed per week? That's on library. Number 11, do they have a video or tape ministry? Because that's another way of people listening, where you borrow cassettes and you can play a speaker even without him coming. And that's a ministry. And you know, with all you need is a smartphone, and the patron smartphone can do. And the students can gather together and listen. Is that something they are doing? 13. Do they actually have Sunday school? Do they teach the neighboring children Sunday school? Because that's part of training people for ministry. When I was at Alliance, I was a Sunday school superintendent. Did that office still exist in your time? Yeah. So, and I had 12 bicycles bought by the school. My job was to organize them to move.
Veronica's husband, I think, was handling.
Was the one. I was the one for 1973. So I think it's an important thing. So you should have the CU with the active should be teaching Sunday school in the neighboring churches. And so a good CU will have it. Then number 14, do they actually have a witnessing program? And how many times do they do it per week? Is there, okay, you are supposed to witness all the time, but are there set up times when you actually say this weekend we are covering everybody, every student? Do they have a witness program is the question. Number 15, once people get saved, is there a follow-up program? And is there a syllabus? In other words, people get saved. Was there a program? Is there a syllabus? Or you just meet them, thank you for coming to Christ. What do you cover for a new believer? And even better still, can you enroll them to a follow-up correspondence course? Because there are courses you can go and do until you... Do they have anything like that? Number 20, number of committee meetings attended by the patron per term. We are trying to check, does the patron get involved? For him to be involved, he must be attending some of the committee meetings. How many times does he attend? I would hope a good patron will at least attend the one deciding the speakers. Or the one doing the elections, whatever. There are certain programs where you need your patron. Number 21, do you hold annual general meetings? Some CUs have no general meetings. A general meeting is very critical even for the CU. When the rest of the CU members can say, we don't like this, we don't like this, and can feel they participated in the process of getting new leadership. Although we are not suggesting you vote and pick the most popular. They need to feel involved. So annual general meeting. Number 22, number of speakers invited per term and the denominations represented among them. You can discover all of you are inviting Pentecostals. So the students who are not Pentecostals feel like the CU is not for us. So look at the program of speakers for the term. Are they representing more than one or two denominations? And number of rallies in school per year, the way you invite other schools. And then are there are rallies coordinated for the whole area, or each person can add up with the 5 rallies on the same day. So you need a coordinated rallies. In other words, if there is a rally in Jabine in this term, you should not have a rally in the same Jabine. Why don't you allow next term another school within that region? And we are trying to find out, is this CU the type that refuse to cooperate in that coordination? Then you're asking, are there Sunday services in the school? In those Sunday services, do they sing hymns or only choruses? The schools you have visited recently, do they sing hymns? Choruses. So here we are trying to check the quality of the CU. It will have choruses. Our problem is not choruses. Do they sing hymns? Is one what you have put in this place. And then do you have CU leadership manual? Now, of course, that time we had it. Now, you're not sure. After you produce it, we'll circulate around. Then number 2, have the subcommittee members read it? Because it can be there, but have you read it? Hey, these questions are old, because that time they were there. The manual was there. How many have attended a camp from that CU? How many attended a camp that has holidays? How many attended the KCF National Convention? Number 29, do CU members write articles for Christian magazines? Are we training them in writing? And the KSF is supposed to have a newsletter. And they are supposed to take articles from students. Is that CU? Does it have people who participate in writing articles? And then the next one is, the last treasurer's report was read on. Does the treasurer acknowledge monthly or weekly or whatever? When did you last send some money to the KSF office? You're trying to say, does he see you understand the Bible studies and whatnot is being done from the central office? Do they support the central office? Have you paid annual subscription for the CU itself? How many have daily personal systematic quiet time? Now you understand why you need a guide. What percent of the CU actually has a systematic way of handling it? And last time I was in Machakos University, I discovered they don't even understand the word quiet time. That means something went wrong in high school. Because those are universities. I was actually in shock. In the quiet time, they do quiet time during the Sunday service. So you can see, they don't even understand the meaning. They say, but surely, can't you see there is noise? If it's a quiet time, it needs to be quiet. Anyway, that's what I saw very recently, actually this time. And how many have the daily power devotional guide? How many use the devotional guide? And how many have does the CU have a timely theme? Back to that issue of a theme. Does the CU understand you don't just pick topic? Do they have a theme? Are the topics explained to the speakers? Or do they just write your topic will be growing? What does it mean? Is there in the letter sent to speakers, does it explain what the question is the speaker is coming to answer? And then list 3 things to thank God for in your CU. You allow them to see what are they excited about, what's happening. Now you're giving them a general opportunity to say. Then list 3 things to pray for in your CU. Those questions will really help you to know the type of CU you are dealing with. Come on, do you agree with me?
Exactly.
So you are supposed to feel it. Every day you are going for leadership training day. You started with this. Then the rest of your training time, you now will keep mentioning things out of what you have heard from them. And